6:15 p.m. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. Here's the news edited by Dulmin Samarasinghe and read by Rumesh Piris. First, the headlines. The Prime Minister says fuel crisis will end soon. The Samagi Jana Balawege suspends the party membership of Harin Fernando and Manusha Nanakara. The Sri Lanka Freedom Party says accepting ministerial portfolios in the government is against the decision reached by the party. The suspect who set fire to an army bus during a protest at Mirihana remanded until the 27th. In news overseas, Japan and International Atomic Energy Agency agreed to ensure Ukraine nuclear power plant safety. And in sports, an Indian wins gold at Women's World Boxing Championship. And now the local news in detail. Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe says it will be possible to end the fuel crisis soon. He said that several ships carrying fuel have arrived in the country and some more orders have been placed. The Prime Minister said that most of the fuel would be used for electricity power plants. He said although ministers were appointed, their privileges have been curtailed. The main opposition, Samagi Jana Balawege, has suspended the party membership of Harin Fernando and Manusha Nanakara, who accepted ministerial portfolios in the government. General Secretary of SJB, Ranjit Madhuma Bandara, said disciplinary action will be taken against two parliamentarians. Samagi Jana Balawege previously said it would support the government to overcome the ongoing crisis situation without accepting cabinet portfolios. Former President and Chairman of the Sri Lanka Freedom Party, Maithripala Sirisena, says accepting ministerial portfolios in the incumbent government is against the decision reached by the party. SLFP MP Nimal Siripala de Silva was sworn in as the Minister of Ports, Shipping and Aviation earlier today. The SLFP previously announced that it would support all constructive measures taken by the government to resolve the current economic crisis in the country. This news broadcast comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. Continuing with more local news, the suspect who was taken into custody for setting fire to an army bus during the protest at Mirihana was remanded until the 27th when he was produced at Nugiguda Magistrate Court today. The suspect was arrested at Dharaniyagala area and is a worker at a trade stall in Gangodavila area. Meanwhile, the CID has arrested another suspect in connection with the killing of former Polonnaruwa District MP Amarakirti Athukorada and his security officer. He has been arrested at Nitambua. The CID is also recording a statement from MP Namal Rajapaksa in connection with the unrest in front of the temple trees and at Golfies on the 9th of May. The Committee on Public Accounts has instructed the Ministry of Environment to make the public aware of the national flower of Sri Lanka as the water lily flower through the National Institute of Education, the University Grants Commission and other relevant agencies as well as newspaper advertisements. The committee has observed that although schools, government and non-government organizations have been made aware of this during awareness programs conducted by the Ministry of Environment, it has not been transpired adequately. Minister Harin Fernando said that the political parties should decide whether the country wants party politics or an acceptable solution. During a press briefing today, he said there is no meaning of being divided on political lines when the people are suffering in queues. The minister pointed out that he has always emphasized everyone should unite to build the country. Minister Fernando said that he took the decision on behalf of the country. He further said only a clever captain can save the country from the economic cyclone. Deputy Speaker Ajit Rajapaksa says that recent incidents show that certain political parties do not like to come to power through democratic means. He said in Parliament today that certain media organizations are also violating media ethics. MP Maithripala Sirisena said that he condemns the incident on the 9th of May. He said that the SLFP MPs have accepted ministerial portfolios without the approval of the party. MP Pramita Bandara Tennakun said that the legal action should be taken against offenders irrespective of the political party. MP Namal Rajapaksa said that no one should be allowed to take the law into their hands under the pretext of a struggle. He said that those who damage property should be brought before law. MP Nalin Bandara said that the present government should be changed to rescue the country from the present situation. Minister Prasanna Ranatunga said that their political journey cannot be stopped by setting fire to houses. And that concludes local news.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
Moving on to the main news story. Government of Japan is giving essential medicines to Sri Lanka through UNICEF to meet the urgent needs of the people, vulnerable population, as the country grapples with shortages due to an economic crisis. The contribution of $1.5 million will enable UNICEF to procure medicines for over 1.2 million people, among them 53,000 pregnant mothers and nearly 122,000 children. The medicines will be distributed to health facilities across Sri Lanka in coordination with the Ministry of Health. And that was the main news story.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
This is Watchlight.
In Watchlight, Public Utilities Commission of Sri Lanka says that power supply will not be interrupted after 6 p.m. from Monday to the 1st of June in order to facilitate 517,496 candidates sitting the GCE honorary level examination. Chairman of the Commission, Janaka Ratnayaka, said the decision was taken at a meeting held with officials of the Ceylon Electricity Board yesterday. And that came to you in Watchlight. A bulletin of world news is next.
Coming up, world news.
First, the headlines of the world news. Japan and International Atomic Energy Agency agreed to ensure Ukraine nuclear plant safety. Taiwan introduces a law to penalize economic espionage. 8 towns are to be made cities for Queen's Platinum Jubilee. Now the world news in detail. Japan's Prime Minister Kishida Fumio has agreed with the head of the International Nuclear Watchdog to work together to ensure the safety of Ukraine's nuclear power plants. Kishida made the pledge when he met with International Atomic Energy Agency Director General Rafael Mariano Grossi today. Kishida Fumio said Japan highly appreciates the IAEA's efforts to ensure the safety of nuclear facilities in Ukraine. Taiwan has amended the law to penalize economic espionage in an aim to prevent leaks of vital technology to China and others. Taiwan's legislature voted unanimously today to enact the amendment to the National Security Act. The revision bans the act of unlawfully obtaining or using designated core technologies for the benefit of external entities. Offenders face a prison term of 5 to 12 years. 8 new cities have been named for the Queen's Platinum Jubilee, with at least one in every UK nation and on the Falkland Islands and Isle of Man. Milton Keynes in England, Dunfermline in Scotland, Bangor in Northern Ireland and Wrexham in Wales all get the title. It is the first for places in an overseas territory, Stanley in the Falklands and a Crown Dependency, Douglas in the Isle of Man, to win city status. Colchester and Doncaster complete the list, getting the royal honour. Back to the headlines of the world news. Japan and International Atomic Energy Agency agree to ensure Ukraine nuclear plant safety. Taiwan introduces a law to penalize economic espionage. 8 towns are to be made cities for Queen's Platinum Jubilee. And that concludes world news. Moving on to development news, a program to develop rubber cultivation and the production will be implemented in the southern province. It will be implemented through the Turu Savia societies established in Gaul, Mathura and Hambantota districts. Ministry of Plantation Industry will provide machinery for the program. And that was development news.
Sports news is brought to you by
Sampath Bank. We present your future.
Moving on to sports, it's boxing. India's Nikat Zareen has won the Women's World Boxing Championship in Turkey, becoming only the 5th Indian woman to be crowned world champion. The boxer beat Thailand's Jitpong Jitmas 5-0 in the flyweight division of the championship yesterday. This is India's first gold medal at the championship since Olympic boxer Mary Kom won it in 2018. And that was sports news.
Cash through NSP globally and win wonderful gifts locally. From October 1st, 2021 to December 31st, 2022. Remit a minimum of $100 or an equivalent amount in any foreign currency 3 times through NSB U Trust.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
In business news, Seat Kalani Holdings has begun the rollout of 2 new retail concepts in Sri Lanka for the Seat brand. Part of a 3-year distribution channel expansion strategy designed to drive brand exclusivity and enhance customer experience at partner outlets in tandem with product improvements. These new retail concepts are branded shop-in-shop and company-invested dealer-operated business models. And that was business news.
Business News, sponsored by
Cash through NSP globally and win wonderful gifts locally. Will you be the lucky winner of the NSP Golden Jubilee? 50 gold sovereigns for the top prize winner of the NSP Golden Jubilee. Scooters for the 10 second prize winners. iPhones for the 10 third prize winners. Mountain bikes for the 29 fourth prize winners. From October 1st, 2021 to December 31st, 2022. Remit a minimum of $100 or an equivalent amount in any foreign currency 3 times through NSB U Trust.
Economic news, courtesy of...
I bought my daughter a laptop for her work by managing my finances. Whatever the expenses may be, I can't afford to miss out on life's special moments like her birthday or our anniversary. So you need to invest to make your family's future flourish.
Saving money isn't easy when you have responsibilities. That's why we promise to give you the best returns and guarantee on your investment. LOLC Finance Fixed Deposits. Maximize your savings. LOLC Finance PLC, incorporated on the 13th of December 2001, is rated SLA stable by ICRA Lanka Limited and is licensed by the Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka under the Finance Business Act No. 42 of 2011.
In economic news, in view of difficulties being faced by exporters in getting payments from crisis-hit Sri Lanka, the RBI yesterday allowed settlement of trade transactions in Indian rupee outside the Asian Clearing Union mechanism. In March, the government had guaranteed a term loan of $1 billion extended by the State Bank of India to Sri Lanka for financing purchase of essential goods by the island nation from India. And that came to you in economic news. The weather report is next.
Saving money isn't easy when you have responsibility. That's why we promise to give you the best returns and guarantee on your investment. LOLC Finance Fixed Deposits. Maximize your savings. LOLC Finance PLC, incorporated on the 13th of December 2001, is rated SLA stable by ICRA Lanka Limited and is licensed by the Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka under the Finance Business Act No. 42 of 2011.
The weather report.
And finally, on to the weather report. The Met Department says showers will occur at times in the Sabaragamuwa and Central Province. Several spells of showers will occur in the Western and Northwestern provinces and in Galle and Mathura districts. Strong winds about 50 km per hour can be expected at times in the western slope of the Central Hills, Northern, North Central and Northwestern provinces and in Hambantota and Trincomalee districts. And that was the weather report. And now to end the news broadcast, a recap of the main news headlines. The Prime Minister says fuel crisis will end soon. The Samagi Janabala Vega suspends the party membership of Harin Fernando and Manusha Nanakara. The Sri Lanka Freedom Party says accepting ministerial portfolios in the government is against the decision reached by the party. The suspect who set fire to an army bus during the protest at Merihana remanded until the 27th. In news overseas, Japan and International Atomic Energy Agency agree to ensure Ukraine nuclear plant safety. And in sports, it's boxing, and Indian wins a gold at Women's World Boxing Championship. And with that, we conclude this news broadcast from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.